What's up, anxious gamers? Welcome back to another episode. We are your hosts. I'm Kris.
And I'm Josh.
All right, let's kick things off with what we are currently playing this week. Josh?
Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah. What do you think of it?
It is a massive game. Because I really liked Divinity Original Sin 2, also a massive game. But this manages to build on that. And it's crazy. It's almost overwhelming, though. There's almost not enough guidance.
Mm-hmm.
And so I find myself Googling quite a bit. And I'm just like, there's 1,000 different ways or places I could be looking for this thing. And I don't have time to be doing that amount of exploration. And then there's some stuff that, and I've read articles about this, but it really does leave too much up to luck and the dice rolls. Because there's just certain parts where you know you're about to get in a fight, so you're constantly saving. And no spoilers, but I'm in Act 2. There was a fight that just happened, and all down to luck. Like, I mean, you could just let it play out if you wanted, but if you don't want to just let it play out, or if you're not strong enough for whatever happens after, you have to constantly reload the game and hope you get the correct dice rolls. Otherwise, the monsters will have initiative first, and they'll just kill the person you're trying to protect immediately.
Oh, wow.
And there's nothing you can do about it. So there's just a lot of stuff, and there's no way to go back. Or if you have inspiration, you can re-roll. But I find myself reloading a lot. But it's a good game, though. I'm really enjoying it. It's just crazy how handcrafted it feels. It's crazy. It's good, though. I'm having fun.
Do you feel like it's a game you're going to finish?
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if by finish you mean explore the whole thing, no.
Yeah.
It's too big. But I could see myself going back and doing things differently. Okay. It has really high replayability.
First, Tears of the Kingdom. I'm almost done with it.
Really?
I'm working on the 5th stage right now. And I got the Master Sword. We don't talk about that. But yeah, I'm going to get the 5th stage, probably do a few more shrines. I want to get all the glyphs. I think I've found 8 now, 7 or 8.
Yep.
Story's really tying together now. And then fight Ganondorf, obviously.
So you're down in the depths right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're doing the 4 machine puzzles?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, so remember when we tried to find out if Link had nipples? And you're like, what is that? Hold on, I want to talk about that thing behind you. He does not.
Yeah, I told you. What is that in front of you?
You didn't see anything.
Yeah.
And I hit it. Yeah.
That answered a lot of questions. Very cool. Well, I didn't even think about it because I found a few of the story things or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I was curious of that other sage. Now it makes sense. So for those of you listening, sorry for spoiling that, but you listened. Anyways, yeah, that's the first game I played. And there is a new game that just came out that is really, really good. Bomb Rush Cyberpunk.
Sounds weird. Okay.
It's a Jet Set Radio clone.
Oh, man, I forgot about Jet Set Radio.
It is fantastic. This
game, rail grinding.
Oh, rail grinding, graffitiing. So you definitely have to check this game out.
All right. Yeah, I'll put that on my list.
I see you're playing Animal Crossing.
I am. Yeah, we all are. My son started a new island.
Okay.
And so we just kind of take turns running around helping him out. I forgot how slow of a start that this Animal Crossing had.
This was my first real Animal Crossing experience, and we're talking obviously about Animal Crossing's New Horizons. Yeah, it is slow.
It
Coming
takes
from a
days.
new player.
Yeah, it takes days, literal real-time days, just to get all of the tools. You can't get a shovel, the stick to cross the thing. I don't even think he still has the ladder. That'll come later.
Yeah, Tom Nook really likes to screw you over on this one.
Yeah. The other ones, you have the tools pretty much right away.
Yeah, you're right, because I watched my wife play it, and seemed a lot faster. The last game I'm also playing is Vampire Survivors. Have you played that game before?
No.
It's a top-down roguelike board game hack and slash where just hordes and hordes and hordes and hordes of enemies pop up.
It sounds familiar.
And
now that you're describing it.
Yeah, you just basically level up the whole time. You don't even hit a button to use attacks. You just move your character. Your character automatically attacks these enemies.
That sounds like a nice...
It's really cool.
Chill.
It's only $5.
Chill, yet not.
Mm-hmm. It's stressful and relaxing at the same time.
Nice.
And it basically, at the end of each run, the higher up you make it, you unlock more areas. You get gold, treasure to buy characters. Very cool game. Nice. All right. Our main topic, battle themes.
Composer comparison.
We're going to kick things off with the Halo theme. Now, the Halo theme is also the battle music as well. It's usually used as the finale or when Chief is doing something incredibly stupid. So, composers Martin O'Donnell and Michael Salvatore. O'Donnell had to compose this piece for the Halo Macworld premiere. In the course of 3 days, he drew inspiration from the Beatles' Yesterday, which inspired the 4-phrase structure of the Gregorian chant. O'Donnell also stated that he laid down the core melody of the theme in about half an hour during the drive to the studio at Salvatore's house. Halopedia.org. That's pretty sweet.
That's crazy to me that he composed like the main chunk of this song in 30 minutes.
And this is the first theme that I ever heard that was real instruments, because I grew up playing Nintendo and Xbox, and Halo was the whole reason I got onto another platform. So hearing this on the original Xbox was mind-blowing.
Yeah, that had to have been pretty cool, yeah.
And my uncle had a massive CRT TV with surround sound, and it just felt like I was playing a movie experience. So
the first time I played Halo, I had this old Dell Inspiron. I think it maybe had 64 gigabytes on the hard drive. It was still on dial-up, and the two games I had were Halo and World of Warcraft.
Two phenomenal games to have.
Halo did not run very well, though. So I played Halo the first time at like 15 frames a second, like half speed.
For those of you...
It was pretty terrible.
Yeah, for those of you that are watching, go and watch the 20th anniversary of Xbox documentary, because they talk a lot about Halo, because Halo was a system seller for Microsoft, and it ran horribly when it first launched the demo. People were not... They were excited about it from the shift of being a top-down strategic game to first-person shooter, but it ran bad. So it's come a long way. Well, now it runs bad again, but we're not going to talk about that.
You know, they're just for going back to their roots.
Yeah. Great job, 343. You did it again.
All right, next up we have Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
Yeah, so this track is pretty much in most of the Castlevania games, Dance of Illusions. And the composer, Tomoko Sano, I believe, or Sano, did an excellent job just capturing the atmosphere with this battle theme. It's so cool. And it's so epic when you finally get to Dracula. You're ready to whip him to death.
I was about to say, this one does feel vampiric.
Mm-hmm. So this was played in Symphony of the Night, Rondo of Blood, I believe, Dracula X, Legacy of Darkness. Several other Castlevania games use this. But
yeah, the organ in the background is pretty slick.
Yeah. It's a great, just, you go through all of Dracula's castle and you finally get to him and this starts to play. It's pretty good.
Nice. I like it. I like this part right here.
No. Yeah, it's really good. I do my laundry to this song. I actually
do you really?
did my laundry to it today, yeah.
What a weird thing to do laundry to.
I battle the boxers.
Take that, socks!
Hiya! Die, monster! You don't belong in this world.
You're over there getting strangled by a bra.
How'd you know I wear bras?
I think it's called a bro when you wear it.
A pro. Ooh.
So next up we've got Skyrim, which surprisingly, it's probably one of the newer games that's not a JRPG to actually have battle music.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so that's pretty interesting.
The reason why I chose the Skyrim battle music is when I first played Ocarina of Time, it was really weird to go face normal enemies out in Hyrule or wherever you go, and you hear like fighting music, because usually older games you had the level music,
and that was it,
and then the boss. Yeah, the boss had a theme. So Ocarina of Time kind of changed that. Well, when I played Skyrim, when an enemy came up or you got into a fight and then this started to play, it instantly threw me back to Ocarina of Time, because I played multiple games after Ocarina of Time that didn't really do that too much still. Yeah. Even God of War, for example, you have dun 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 dun, kind of the Kratos theme, but that kind of plays throughout the whole 15 minutes of ripping people's heads off.
Right.
So
yeah, we have two examples of that, and something I don't know that we have an example of, but it's how Resident Evil uses its tense music, and then you know that all the zombies are dead when it quiets down.
Yes.
And it like gets chill. Super helpful. But yeah, this one's good. This whole soundtrack for Skyrim is good.
Oh yeah.
Occasionally I'll turn this on while I'm working.
Mm-hmm. I listen to the Streets of Whiterun at least once or twice a week. The composer for Skyrim is Jeremy Soule.
Nice. Do we have any fun facts about that dude?
You basic. Bethesda, you basic. No, I'm kidding.
Poor Jeremy. What did he do to deserve this? He crafted the Skyrim OST for you, and this is what you call him?
He ripped off Howard Shore. No, I'm playing.
Poor Jeremy.
All right, moving on.
All right, next up we've got Dame tu Tormento.
Yes, composer Carlos Viola. Now, this is obviously an epic soundtrack. The whole soundtrack for Blasphemous is amazing. And Blasphemous 2 comes out next week, which is, it's already getting really good reviews. It's more Metroidvania. So this one, the reason why I chose this is it sounds exactly the same as Castlevania 64 / Legacy of Darkness, Castle Center, the dungeons. It's just a different key. So this is kind of a similar sounding song.
Yeah.
It's not really a battle it out or anything. It's a coincidence.
It's an ode to Castlevania.
Yeah, which I don't think Mr. Carlos Viola, however you say that, went to Castlevania 64 and was like, I'm going to rip that song off. I don't think that happened at all. It's coming as a musician, it sounds the same, just a different key. So.
Well, let's compare by jumping over to Castlevania 64.
It's just like the main riff from the beginning of this track to Castlevania 64. This
man.
One. It's the same
I see
pattern.
What you're saying.
Yeah.
It is different enough, though, that it's not a direct rip-off.
Ooh, that level gives me nightmares. In this level, you have to carry a magical bomb potion, and if you jump or get hit by something, you blow up.
So it was a one-hit kill?
One-hit kill.
Oh, that sounds terrible.
And, I mean, with the platforming, how off it was in Castlevania Legacy of Darkness fixed it a little bit, but in this game, it was a nightmare. Because there's this part where you have to walk across like a balance beam, and then there's two clocks or gears turning, and they're going opposite directions. So there's this part where they're going like this, and you have to cut in between them. And if you barely hit the corner of that gear, boom, you're dead. So, moving on, what do we have next? The Guardian theme.
Yeah, the Guardian theme from Breath of the Wild.
This theme, I had to put in because one, it's epic, and two, the minute you hear that piano in this game,
oh, you know you're about to get wrecked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that they gave the Guardians their own specific theme. Because you knew you were about to hear that laser charging. Which
I've kind of fought a Gleeok, and that's a pretty epic theme too. But this, just how spider creature-y looking they were, and you just hear it, just creepy, man. Creepy.
The cadence of this song is really interesting with that. Is it like a 3/4?
Sounds like it.
It's like 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. Yeah. I don't know, something about it. It feels spidery, which is really interesting and very techy. I don't know. I enjoy this one.
Yeah.
Nice.
The composers for this one.
Manaka Kataoka and Hajime Wakai and Yasuaka Iwata. Yeah, I wasn't huge on the soundtrack for Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom. It wasn't traditional enough for me. But there's a couple of songs that I really am into, and this is one of them.
Nice.
All right, up next we're going back to a classic here. We have the Final Fantasy VII battle theme. And this is the one from the original, it had random encounters. And so you would walk around and just randomly have to fight somebody. And this one I have a little bit of PTSD from just the sheer amount of grinding that I did in this game as a kid. And I know we've compared this before because, what was it? Quest 64, the battle theme sounded almost identical. And this was composed by, we've talked about this before, Nobuo Uematsu. And I have another fun fact about him that's different from the last one. And he was working at a music rental shop when somebody at Square asked him if he wanted to make music for some projects they were working on. And he thought this was just going to be a part-time job. So he kept his job at the music rental shop for I don't know how long, but I'm curious how long he worked both jobs until he realized it was a real thing and this was his new career.
Wow.
This one's crazy. A classic, though. And one of my favorite things is right around this turn, I specifically associate summoning like Bahamut or something with this particular part of the battle song. I just see like Shiva coming up out of the ice cloud.
You can just see everything from your past.
Yeah, it's just lots of flashbacks. But yeah, that's a good one. My favorite thing in the remake is if you have Barrett with you, and once you finish the battle and he's over there, he goes da 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 da
yes,
da da
yeah.
da.
Forgot about that.
It's always cracked me up. All right, up next we have another classic, and we talked a little bit about this, but this did kind of set the standard for approaching an enemy in the real world and having the music change. But this one, to me, is the sound of anxiety. Because it's not over the top, it's not in your face. You could not realize that something was there, and all of a sudden you start hearing this music. And then you're looking around like, okay, what sees me?
Yeah, just hearing it for the first time when you're about to see the Great Deku Tree.
Oh yeah, you turn that corner and there's one of those Deku stick things. And Ocarina of Time did have mini boss music and then of course full on, boss battle music, but this is the one we hear most often in the game.
Man, the final battle with Ganondorf/Ganon. That dun, 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 so epic.
Yeah. And the composer for this one, and we've talked about him before, Koji Kondo. The first game he worked on for Nintendo was Punch-Out! Speaking of battle music.
Oh, cool.
That was in 1984.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty crazy. So Ocarina of Time was 14 years later. All right, we're bringing it a little bit newer. This, I think, is my favorite song from all of the Smash Brothers games, and it's the character select from Melee.
It's going to bring back memories.
This is a good one. Such a good one. I don't know. I associate this one with, like, honestly, probably the most thing it makes me want to do is go beat the mess out of one of those little, what's that little sandbag guy?
Oh, the home run
during
contest.
The home run contest?
Yeah. Do you think
That's
they
what this reminds me
will
of.
ever do an HD remaster of Smash Melee?
I don't know. I don't think so. I can't imagine they'll do any remakes of any of them, though.
I think they'll either add it to, like, if they bring GameCube online, they'll add it to that. But I do think there is a possibility there would be not a full remake, but just a port of it. Maybe running a little bit better. A little bit HD.
I don't know why Nintendo would do that, I guess. Because a lot of the favorite levels, the characters, even some of the music, it's all in Ultimate.
I think Melee had so Ultimate has a grinding feature, but it's more the collecting the souls or the spirits.
Right.
That's it.
Spirits. Yeah. The
This,
adventure
though,
mode in this one was a lot of fun.
The adventure mode was great. The gameplay was really good, which I'm not saying Ultimate isn't. But you had all the little mini competitions. Do you remember that? Like the bulletin board competitions. And then you had the trophies, which later became amiibos. So I think if it's the most classic Smash Bros, in my personal opinion. I feel like they maybe would do it. I don't know. We'll see.
I agree with that, only because that's the one that I grew up with. But it seems like they want Ultimate to be kind of similar to Mario Kart 8. I think they're just going to keep expanding it. And then last but not least, the battle music that spawned its own genre. We have you could have picked any number of these, but any one of the Doom themes. This one specifically is from Doom Eternal. The only thing they fear is you. And the composer for this is Mick Gordon, an Australian composer. And I loved the whole soundtrack for Doom. This is my workout music.
So unfortunately, this will be Eternal was his last game.
I saw that he had a bit of a falling out with Bethesda.
Yeah, so I think Eternal's a hybrid of him and another artist. I'd have to double check, but no, Mick Gordon's phenomenal, and he's done a few projects recently. I'd have to look into those, but I follow him on Instagram. So.
Nice.
But yeah, no,
this
was crazy. I'll say it, Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal are probably some of my favorite new first-person shooters.
They were really good. Just fluid, fast-paced. There was no fluff. There was no season passes to buy.
They did what Halo was really good at. Where Bungie with Halo 1, 2, 3, you were chief. You didn't care about your emotional side, and that's the Doomslayer.
He's just there to kill demons.
You're in it to win it, man. So
kill demons, stay alive, and that's it.
Yeah.
So Mick Gordon also composed for Wolfenstein and a few other franchises too. So I'm curious what he's going to work on next. Obviously, probably nothing with Bethesda, but
who knows?
Such a good one though. But so you can look on Spotify. There are a whole playlist that's all Doom music, and they will find other bands, and it's almost a genre of itself. If you mention Doom music to somebody, they know it's this choppy, high energy metal.
Gent music.
Yeah, like gent.
Yeah.
Syncopation and very technical metal. Mm-hmm. Oh, I love it.
Well, that wraps up our episode this week. Be sure to check us out every Thursday at Anxious Gamers here on YouTube. And remember, it's dangerous to go alone.